Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm not actually going to go into the game. I'm going to actually talk about the Star Mercury and its pros and cons. If you'd like to take part in the discussion, please click on Discord, or you can talk, or you can actually type text in the chat box. I won't be able to respond to you straight away, obviously, because I've got lots of things to talk about today, but I will try my best. Okay, if you want to join us and talk about the Mercury, please click on the Discord link below and you'll be entered into the reception. I'm not too sure if sound's working or nothing, but anyway, I will start. As we all know, everybody's been talking about the Mercury Star Runner and how good it is and how bad it is. About melting the ship, buying the ship, and why. What's so good about it and what's bad about it. Okay, we will start. As you can see, the Mercury is 40 meters long. The biggest ship there, which you're thinking, what's the 600i got to do with it? It has, in a manner of speaking. Okay? Okay. What's the first thing you notice about the Mercury? Yeah, it's a sexy ship. That's for anybody who doesn't know anything about Star Citizens. But what you'll also notice, I'm going to be comparing it to all these ships in a way that I can. I will start with the 600i. The 600i is a very quick, swift ship. Basically, it can go from 0 to 900 in just a matter of seconds. Not even the Caterpillar, the Freelancer, or the Cutlass can keep up with it. But at the end of the day, long term, we're talking about the we're talking about 600i. But long term, because the ship is so quick, it can just zip away. But sooner or later, the ship will catch up to it unless you can actually create a jump point. I'm using the 600i as an example because that is a very quick, swift ship. Yes, we know about the Harrow, so we won't even go into that just yet. And that's the only thing. Plus, these new ships that are coming out are very light in armour. Not like the military ship like the Constellation, Freelancer, Cutlass Black, Harold. They've all got heavy hulls. Okay. There's also been a discussion about it can't hold a cyclone. Yes, I believe it can hold a cyclone. Reason being, if it can hold a Nox cube, which we all know it can, and it can hold two side by side. When you put the two Noxes together, they're about the same width of the cyclone. So I believe it can actually hold the cyclone plus the cargo bay. What's so important about the cyclone? As you know, Houston's coming in, and you're going to want to do land because you want to do land duties and whatnot, and obviously you can't walk everywhere, so the cyclone is just as good. Well, why don't we use the Nox? Well, if you think about it, it's an open canopy and it only seats one. The Star Runner is a cruise ship. Yeah, okay, we can use the what's that? Dragonfly. Yeah, but like I said, we're talking about things that are modern, we're talking about things that are stylish. The new ships, as I said earlier on, are coming out in this shape or form, and we are using the 600i as an example, as you can see. Yes, the Star Mercury is faster, and it's also quicker in that category. It doesn't have the cargo bay as a 600i, but if you've been in the 600i, you will notice the cargo bay is massive. As the game develops, you'll be able to fit a lot more than just the cargo and the Rover. Okay, one thing I like about the 600i, you'll notice the cargo isn't on the ramp. It's actually stored in cubicles around the ship. Okay. Comparing it to the constellation, they're almost identical. Okay, with a lot of differences. The Mercury can store 96 cargo units, just like the Aquila. The Aquila is an explorer. The Mercury is a data runner. But who is to say it can't do exploration? Okay? Because remember, when it comes to exploration, it's all what's in your mind. As you already well know, there is nothing in the game for exploration. But I am an explorer, and I find lots of contents in the game to explore and also make credits while I'm exploring without the structures in the game. The constellation is a heavy armor, and as you know, it's got a bunch loads of missiles, guns and whatnot. The constellation has 6 or 5 variants which can be swapped in and out, but when you take it into account, we're not talking about buying it in game, we're talking about getting it now. It could cost you nearly £1,200 just to get all the constellation's equipment to make it very versatile. The Mercury only costs £200. Okay, next, the Freelancer. I put the Freelancer in the same category for maneuverability, which I've already tested. I've not tested the Mercury, but because of the same size and the Mercury is smaller, lighter, what the Freelancer can do for moving about, you can guarantee the Mercury can. 1, the Freelancer and the Constellation are like bricks. It's just like a truck beating against the wind, where the Mercury and the 600i will just slip through it with the ease, as you already well know. The firepower on the Freelancer is not as good as the Mercury, which I will get into. Neither is the Cutlass Black. Yes, we already know the Cutlass Black has got 4 size 2 weapons, or gimbaled, or 4 size 3 ungimbaled. The Freelancer has got 4 size 2 gimbaled weapons. So as you can see, you'll say, well, it's only got 2 weapons on the Mercury. Yes, it has. But on gimbaled, it is size 4. So for when it's size 4, it would be equal to the Cutlass Black with ungimbaled size 3 weapons. So automatically it puts it in the same category for firepower. I know a lot of you guys will disagree because it's got extra turrets, blah blah blah. We're just talking about as a solo pilot. Now, because the Star Runner can hold size 4 turrets, it is also open to bigger weapons like combines. I do believe the combines are not 900 now. I think they're actually 400 reading on the stacks when it comes to hit points. Also, distortion cannons. This is not an attack ship, it's a hit and run. It's got pretty good defences, but distortion cannons on the Mercury will be its best defence. Why? Because when you use them distortion cannons, it will drain the ship's power, okay, rendering the ship useless unless it's got ballistics, giving you time to get away or do whatever you want. So as you can see, automatically with just a standard weapon loadout, you can see that the Mercury is actually got more firepower than the Freelancer. No, I can't remember actually, because they got GT tarantulas, okay, but like I said, when it comes to size 4 weapons, it will double it as the same or half as much, if you can see where I'm coming from. And that also is the same for the Cutlass Black. Okay, with the Herald is a very fast ship, very quick and very maneuverable. It's got no fire weapons, but you can't catch it. The biggest thing about the Herald is it does data. The Mercury also does data, and twice as much. It also carries cargo as the same as the Constellation. So you can see it's doing 2 jobs there automatically. With the Herald, as you know, it's about 1400 and about 1400 top speed. I can't remember what the cruising speed. I think it's 235. I'm doing this all from memory, as you can see. So as you can see, already the Mercury is ticking the box. These are the pros at the end of the day. As you already well know, it's got a smuggling bay. I'm not a smuggler, but I wouldn't be using it for smuggling. I'm going to be having friends on that ship, okay? And you know, if you've got anything valuable on there, you know your friends are going to pinch it. That's just the way they are, okay? That's just the way they are. So obviously, you've got the smuggling bay. Plus, you can have the good gunplay on there, all sorts of things to keep you occupied. But let's go into pros and cons as much as I can. As you already well know, it can fit the Nox in there. I do believe it can fit the Cyclone, because if you can fit 2 Noxes in there, you can definitely fit the Cyclone in there. Okay. When it comes to agility, this ship is very agile. I mean, it can move, it can shift, and it can do all sorts. But I will put that in the class of the Caterpillar, as you already know. Sorry to swing. As you already know, to these ships we've got here, the Caterpillar is the most, well, forget about the Herald for a minute, okay? We're talking about ships that can carry cargo. The Cutlass Black is very agile, but it is heavily armoured, number 1, okay? And it's pretty thick and it's bulky. So obviously going against the wind, it's not going to move as much. Okay, I've not seen the stats properly, but this is what I'm summarising. Now the Mercury, okay, 1, it's quick. Just like the 600, I know it's a big ship, but if you've been in the 600i, you know it's pretty quick. And the only other ship is the Herald that is as quick as, okay, but we're not using the Herald because that's another class of ship. Now when you look at the size of the Mercury, it's very slim. So that means it can cut through the air with the greatest of ease. Now where I'm coming from with that, if you've flown this Explorer, you will notice it is actually got a decent top speed in the atmosphere, which I have noticed. Okay, so that makes it quicker and faster than most other ships apart from the Herald, obviously. So as you can see, these are already ticking the boxes. Okay, now another thing, this ship is cheap. This ship is only £200. The Constellation is 400. Sorry, the Explorer 600i is 400. You can get the cheapest Constellation for 140, but a decent Constellation, as you well know, is about £300. The Freelancer base model is £100, same as the Cutlass, but we know it's £110, whatnot. Still not classing the Herald, blah blah blah, just yet. Okay, so as you can see, in that aspect, you might say, well, them two other ships are expensive cheaper compared to that. Yes, but the Mercury can actually do more roles than them ships. So if you were to take those ships into consideration, if you've already got them, you can melt them or upgrade them to other ships, saving you money on the Mercury. The Mercury can do 400. The Mercury can do 100 cargo units. Well, call it 100. The Caterpillar can do 100 cargo units. But in addition to that, the Mercury also can do data. Okay, and that's also worth its weight in gold, plus other missions whichever you choose. Okay, after a while, as you already know, the Constellation will get bored unless you're doing exploration. The Freelancers can do exploration, but it can't carry the cargo. And if it can carry the cargo like the Max, it can't do exploration. We talk about the Freelancer. The Herald is my favourite ship. The Herald is fast. The Herald is swift. The Mercury is swift, but it's not fast. Okay, I know it's pretty fast, but the fighters can catch hold of it. Okay, sooner or later, unless you're quick enough to move around. Another thing which I've also noticed about the Mercury, it's got man-turret. This is a modern ship. You don't need man-turrets. You should be using unmanned turrets, giving the ship more space and more versatility, if you see where I'm coming from. Also on the Mercury, as you already well know, it's got two size 3 gimbal, size 4 not gimbaled. I'm trying to work out the size of that. The reason why I'm mentioning this, as you already well know, the 600i has 2 unmanned turrets. I have took those unmanned turrets off, which is size 5, and I've put them on the Constellation, giving the Constellation 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 guns on there, which I've actually done. But what I'm trying to say is, if this is a size 5, no, it won't be size 5, it'll be size 6. Who's not to say it can't hold a size 6 gun and just one? But we know it should be able to hold size 5 if it is gimbaled. It all depends on how CIG, whatever it does with it. But can you see the versatility with the ship? The ship is cheap for £200. No, please, please, please. I heard a comment on that. How can somebody turn around and say, how can you say £200 Pixel is cheap? I like playing games, okay? If I didn't play games, I'd be walking around the streets. I'd be spending money. That's one aspect. I'd be going to the pub with my mates, having a drink over time. So yes, that chip is cheap. That chip is cheap. That tongue tie, that chip is cheap in that aspect. But the main aspect I'm coming from is when you start looking at the ship's roles it's taken over, like the Constellation, the Freelancer, the Cutlass Black and the Herald, all in one, it does save you quite a few pounds. Okay, That's if you've got the money. If you've got the ships already. Because if you've got them, you can melt them on up. You can melt them and you get credits back to buy other ships. And if you go to buy the ship as LTI, which is the best thing to do now if you've not got LTI. I know people say it's not worth it, but I have my other reasons why LTI is. As I said, if I want to gift it away or whatnot, that can be done by giving it away because it's LTI, and it will have 6 months insurance or 2 months insurance. They can start the ship from scratch. Okay, data running. Okay, with the Harold, I like the Harold very much. The Harold isn't good in the game unless you've got an imaginative mind. I actually make money with the Harold, but I combined it with the cutlass, with the caterpillar. We know that the caterpillar is slow, okay? But if you use a caterpillar with the Harold, you make twice as much money. I will give an example. If you're going from Lesky to Port Olister, I'm not going to use quartz, I'm going to use iodine, I know the figures in my head. It costs you 20,000 to buy iodine, and if you're lucky, making 5,000 profit. So in 4 runs, which if you can do 4 runs in an hour, you've actually doubled your money. Okay, that's in the caterpillar. What's the Harold got to do with it? Well, you wouldn't want to take up your caterpillar from Port Olister and go to Lesky, because it's too expensive per cargo, so the loss is actually magnified. But if you were to fly the caterpillar to Lesky, so to Port Olister, and use the Harold to fly back, now you can see where I'm coming from. Did somebody turn around and say, you've got, how will you get the ship back there? Well, one, you can spawn it on the insurance, and if it's making enough money, it can be claimed back by the time you get back there. I can't remember how many minutes it takes. I think at the moment in gameplay it's about an hour, 30 minutes, and about 7 minutes to materialise, but I think you can see where I'm coming from. But what I do like the Harold for, okay, which you might not take into account, I do a lot of streaming. I've used a lot of ships, and the Harold is the best for streaming. Okay, one is because it's quick and it's maneuverable. So when you want to be in a certain spot, the Harold is there. It has got a couple of problems. It's got a couple of beams in front that spoils the shot, but obviously if you're traveling with 2 people, they can use the seat and they can use the third person's view. That's why I like the Harold. Okay, so as you can see, the Harold is fitting my gameplay. Most streamers use other ships. I'm just giving an example because people say there's nothing there for the Harold, but if you've got an imaginative mind, you can see it makes you money, and me as a streamer, it actually fits the build. If you've ever watched a Rescue Run and things like that, you will see. I've done quite a few, so I've got a general idea. Okay, so now what is the benefit from the Mercury to the Harold? Same as above. With the Harold, with the Mercury, I do believe it takes about 5 times much data, and it does cargo, and it's also very aerodynamically built. But there is something I was trying to say, but I'm just trying to remember about the 2 ships. There is a fault on the ship, on the Mercury. As you can see, it's got this piece here. I will do a blow up a bit later on, and I believe that would obstruct my view. I know it's got brilliant view for underneath, but side view, I think that's a blind spot. Now if it is a blind spot, because I want to use a ship for my main ship, the view will be obscured, okay? And if it's obscured, if I want to do streaming, I could lose out, but I don't know. That's the bad point. Another bad point is, as you know already, is they say it can't hold a cyclone. I believe it can, and if it can't, I think they should adjust it so it can. I heard somebody say in Reddit, the reason why it can't get on there is because of the ramp. So obviously it's like the caterpillar, but I don't know. They might make it grow in size, which I don't know. Also, Montoya made a comment. This ship is a medium ship. The Constellation is a large ship. Okay? Where I'm coming from with that, the Constellation will not be able to go through medium jump points. But everybody's thinking, well, the Mercury can go through medium jump points because it's only 40 meters. Excuse me. Repeat. 40 meters. Nah. Look at the width of the Aquila. Look at the width of the Mercury. As you can see, automatically it is wider. So is Star Citizen's going to make jump points where the jump points stretch like an like an elastic band? I doubt it. Okay, so the only thing I can see is they're going to have to downgrade the Constellation to go through medium jump points, or we're going to have to change the Mercury to go through large jump points. This is my concern at the end of the day, because if this goes up to large jump points, you're going to be at a very disadvantage. Okay, as you already well know, the Freelancer can go through small jump points. It's been advertised. The Caterpillar can go through small jump points, and all the rest below that. Now, that's okay. Well, as you know, it can't hold a Snuff Fighter. Okay. Well, yes, it can hold a Nox, but the Noxes can't go through jump points, so that's irrelevant. But the point is I'm trying to make, if this is going to be resized and go through large jump points, if he wants to do certain things like data running, cargo running, etc., how is he going to get through the medium and small jump points? Okay, it's going to cut down its profits. Remember, it is a very long range run and whatnot, and it's going to be difficult. That's what the points I'm trying to make. Okay, these ships are not made with little runabouts like Star Trek Online, etc. But as you can see, there's loads of things. I don't find no fault with this ship, but I can see faults with this ship. And as with the Tarrants, I do believe it should be unmanned. This is a futuristic ship. Okay, it's not an old antique like the Constellation, Freelancer. What I mean is military. You know, in the old days, we had to make these ships strong because they were warships. We are now in the 21st century, 25th century. The ship needs to fit the parts. Okay? There was a lot of things. Weapons display. Let's get back to weapons. I might have repeated this, said this once, but I'll repeat it again. The Mercury has a lot of firepower compared to the ships that are out now, i.e. compared to the Freelancer Cutlass Black, which I've explained. It can take size 4 weapons. It might only take 2, but the Freelancer takes size 3s and size 2 gimbal, but we're going to use size 3 because I know the Freelancer can take size 3 because I do it all the time. Right? With the Mercury using size 4, it's about the same power as the arm size. Yes, I've got the spreadsheets, I've got all this, I've done the sizes, checked it all out, but you won't be using the ship for fighting. Okay, now you'll be using something like distortion cannons or scattergun, because the only thing you're going to want to do with this ship is you're going to want to lame it. Okay, if you're going to approach an enemy, you're going to want to lame it. You're going to want to zap its power. You're going to want to cripple it. And when you've crippled it, you have a choice. You can run off, or you can blow it up with your Tarrants. depending what type of weapons you choose. I also do believe they're going to be coming out with beam weapons. Now, beam weapons, like Star Trek, they can focus on certain parts of a ship to disrender it. Now, I really don't know if anybody has said anything on the chats because I've not got no access to it. What else is there? There's loads of things. But still, I do believe it's the best ship out there at the moment. But I'm concerned about the jump points, okay, or the wormholes, because it's stated the ship is small, okay. One other thing which I've forgotten to mention, this ship is very thin. This ship is very agile, okay, because it's aerodynamic. It makes it more flexible than the Cutlass Black, so I believe it can move around a lot faster. But there's one more thing which I've not mentioned. This ship, with the stats it states, inside is like the TARDIS. It's a mid-sized ship, but I bet my last dollar this ship will move like a small ship. Now that's another versatile thing that can be added into the game. Although it can't do things like wormholes, etc., if it can move like a small ship, it's going to be dodging missiles like nobody's business, okay. And you know them small ships, they're hard to hit. I know, because I've been in the Noxes in space and I've helped out, blah blah, etc. Now, if you want to join us, just click on the Discord channel, and we are on Discord. Our org is called Unity. We have a lot of ships, okay. So if you've got a small ship like the Aurora, etc., and you haven't got the money to buy these big ships, you don't need to worry about it. Our org will loan you these ships 24/7 so you can use them and get better at them. You'll also learn roles, missions, and whatever it is to learn in the game. We are a new organisation on Star Citizens, okay. Might be about a couple of weeks, couple of months, etc. I've been here about a year and I've been learning the simple things. I have been in orgs for the last 20 or 30 years, run my own orgs on different games, so I know the basics. This game is, I would say, a copycat of most games, but that's not what I mean, because obviously it's everything rolled into one, and that's the reason why I'm playing this game. That's the reason why I spent my money on this game, because it's got what I want in there and what I like. I spend hours in this game because I like it. I like to find my faults, but it's not to criticize, it's to make the game better, okay. I like the freedom of speech, okay. Now there's a lot of guys on here streaming or doing these things, and you've got guys in there that just like to say, oh, it's rubbish, you can't do this, you can't. No, just remember, you ain't doing nothing. You guys are criticizing. We are helping Star Citizens to develop the game, okay. Sometimes we come off with things that don't sound right, but CIG will notice it and they will fix it. But you've got people like some guys that are critics that just wants to find fault. I spent £5,000 just on ships alone. That's my choice, okay, not yours, okay. Now if I don't believe the game's going to work, I wouldn't spend it, okay. Now for me to help Star Citizens, I'm not that knowledgeable, but what I learn and what I observe, I will put it on stream. I'm not very good at explaining stuff, but you've got people like Newbie Fire, Minion Soldier, Board Gamer, okay. They're the main guys on here, okay. They spend hours, but sometimes they miss something, and if I've said something and they like it, they will take it and they will publicize it in the way that you can understand, okay. But somebody has to start somewhere. I do videos that sometimes 3, 4, 5 hours long, okay. What is the point of that? I am testing the game for playability. I am testing the game for things that goes wrong. I am testing the game, so if there's a bug, I can work around it, share it, and also spend 2, 3, 4, 5 days in the game. Okay? As you already well know, the 600i is supposed to be my favourite ship, but there's too many bugs on there for me to show the true contents. Okay, just giving you guys an idea. It's no point slagging me off. You've got the main guys that do these, what they call it, they do videos, they take 10 minutes. They're bloody good quality videos. They've got the same equipment I've got. I've not had time to tune my video up because I am commentating. But what I'm trying to say is, when they're doing these videos, Board Game and Minion Soldier, the videos are only 5-10 minutes. But it doesn't take them 5-10 minutes to create a content. First, they will play the game in the background and they will save it, and then when they saved it, they will stream the internet, get the information that you guys need and stream on the top of it, and after they've done that, then they commentate on top. That doesn't take 7 minutes. That can take hours. Now when I'm streaming, as you can see, I can take 4 hours, etc. Now when I take 4 hours, I'll stream every day, because if I can find something, I'm going to stream it. But to make it shorter in 7 minutes and do all of that, it's going to take 4 or 5 days. I'm not being paid to do this, but I want to share the idea with you guys, just like with them guys. I might not be able to explain it properly, but them guys watch our videos and they use it to their advantage. You guys will say, well, I made the video and I don't want well, what's the point? Okay, I mod my games. When I say mod my games, I've got things like shields. I spend hours working shields out so my ships are stronger, because I'm not a combat pilot, I am an explorer and a cargo hauler. Okay, so because I can't shoot, I have to have defenses, and all these ships I have made defenses that are very, very strong. Okay, because the shields, that's another topic, because of the shields and whatnot. Look at the constellation. When I got that constellation, yes, I know it can go. I'm just going to give you an example. When I fly the constellation as normal and I'm in attack, I could be destroyed in 10 minutes. But when I use modulating shields, that ship will last over an hour. Okay, that's one of the main aspects, modding ships. Now the only people that will get them equipment are the people that are in our org at the end of the day, which will benefit. You might have seen past videos in the past that shows these videos, and I think you can see where I'm coming from. There was another very important thing I wanted to say. You see, I've got a very short memory, so explaining things, if I don't write it down, I don't remember. But it was something to do with the Mercury. Now what was it? It will come back to me. Yes, components. The Mercury has the same components as a Cutlass Black. Okay? Whatever it is, it's got 2 of everything. That creates redundancies. So, and if you look at the size of the Mercury, because the footprint's smaller, you can guarantee the shields are stronger on the Mercury. And if you've got redundancy, them shields will last a heck of a long time. The only drawback is it's the hull, but it's a fast ship. But as you can see, automatically the shields are stronger on the Mercury. Okay, and any other weapons like that, when it comes to firing weapons, it's got endurance. It can go on for a long time. Let's talk about computers now. As you already well know, this ship has 5 computers. I know it has 2 size, I know it has 2 medium shields, but can this ship propel itself and run 5 computers? Hell, I don't think so. What do you mean, Pepper? You don't think so? 5 computers can generate a lot of power and a lot of heat. How are you going to keep it cool so the signature doesn't get too high? Now, my PC is a very powerful PC. Okay, it's not a mainframe, and the power supply I've got in here is 1500 watts. Okay, one of the strongest you can get. Yes, my PC is a very powerful PC. It's got two 1080 Ti's in there. It's got i9 processor. It's got three 960 Pros in there. I think you can see where I'm coming from. Okay, now 1500 watts times 5 is almost 1 gigawatt. That is a lot of power. When the ship's going to be under attack and they have to cut power, are they going to lose the data, or is there somewhere it can be backed up? Because I don't think that the power supply on the power plant, it's got two power plants, I don't think it can sustain it. Okay, because computers can generate a lot of heat and it can consume a heck of a lot of power. I've not seen this in the game yet, but I'm just using normal facts that you'd use in real life. Wow, the shields use gigawatts and the power plant is gigawatts. But long term, because you don't need to use the shields, you can just put the shields down, but you have to keep the computers on. So sooner or later, it will be draining the power. I'm not saying it can't do it, because I don't know, but these are questions that needs to be taken into consideration. Or will it have a generator on there that can generate a power like an alternator? Okay, like on a car. Just silly little ideas. Okay, another thing is, I think when they get these beam weapons in for these ships, I think that's also going to be pretty good. They won't be as strong as the normal weapons, but it can focus on certain components on ships, or certain parts on them, which I know will come out in time, because we've got the beam weapons on the, oh my god, what's that ship called? Prospector. Okay, at the start of the show. There's lots of things, but I just thought I would just talk about the Mercury and its comparison to the ships that are out there and why I think it is good. Yes, every ship in its own right is better than the Mercury, but the Mercury in its own right and for its size is very compact. It might not be the best at everything, but it's going to damn well do a good job. Okay, when I was getting this ship, it was a hard decision. Why? Because I had the Harold and I didn't want to melt my Harold. And I also bought the Apollo. Okay, I had to look into all my ships to find out which was the best ship to melt. I melted the Cutlass Red for the Apollo, so that's out this question. Okay, that will be melted again for the Endeavour. But what made me change my mind with this ship and I melted the Harold is because in the loaner section it gave me the Harold, so I could carry on with my streaming and carry on doing what I'm doing while I'm learning about the ship, because you can only get it LTI once a year, as you already well know. But to the extra bonus, it also gives you the Freelancer as a loaner ship. Okay, now the reason why I was interested in the Freelancer is because I didn't have the guns on there, the GT Tarantulas or whatever, and now I'm actually testing them on my ships. Yes, I've had these ships in the past, but as you get better and whatnot, you don't need certain ships, you get rid of them. I got rid of my Constellation for the 600i. Okay, now, and the Constellation, when the 600i wasn't out, I had the Constellation as a loaner. I still got the Constellation in game now because of the Carrack. Okay, But what I was surprised with, the Apollo, they gave me the Andromeda. I'm still trying to work out why. The Andromeda is a totally different ship to the Cutlass Red. Okay? So I just don't see the point why they gave that ship. Because it doesn't do cargo. So if it doesn't do cargo, the Andromeda won't serve its purpose. Okay, I'm not complaining, okay, because I've already bought the ship, and I will also be upgrading that ship because I want the Endeavour, okay. Now, a lot of people thinks about CIG's not making any money and whatnot, okay. People spend money in this game and they think this is too dear and whatnot. Talking about too dear, you've got ships, when you know, as you already well know, when the Herald came out, it was £700 and £200. People didn't understand how that price was so expensive. I'm going to explain it the way I see it. Okay? If you was to strip the Hercules to its bare bones, that ship would only be worth 200 quid. Okay? When you start adding the freebies on there, like the tank, adding the components on there and adding the weapons, the price soon bumps up. But this is not announced by CIG. They just say they're freebies and whatnot, but they're not freebies. Okay, I'm not mocking CIG, they have to make money. I will come to that point in a minute. Okay, I've got all these ships, and in my inventory it's like a bloody warehouse of components. Now, to me, that's a waste of money. Okay? Now, if you guys have got ships like that, you will say the same thing. You don't need all these weapons. Okay? You don't need all this. You never use them for whatever reason. CIG should not be putting the weapons in there. Okay? There's other ways they can make money with the weapons. Okay? Well, what I'm trying to say, if they sell the ships at the stock price, the players will buy the weapons and buy what they want, okay? But what I'm trying to say is, you could come out with 2 ships for that kind of money. That player will be able to buy 2 ships for that same. Okay, let's look at the Hercules, 300-400 quid. You could strip it. You could make 2 ships out of that. Got no weapons, got no components. The player will buy 2 ships. You can guarantee he will buy 2 ships. You still make the same amount of money. Okay, you got to pay staff, we get it, I understand. Okay? But did you know, when they have to buy weapons, they have to buy components. They will buy the weapons and they will buy the components. Okay? And you're making the money back, one way or the other. Now, I think that's good business sense at the end of the day. The players get money for the value, gets the ships for the value, and they get the choice of weapons they want, not what you put on there. I think that's a good idea. Now, that's one thing. Now, let's talk about contribution. You've got people, you've got the backers, you've got concierge, you've got this. I contribute a lot of money in Star Citizens. All my ships are LTI, okay? But they're not quite. But I'm going to use LTI as an example. As you well know, we're going to use the Mercury now as an example. As you know, when you first buy the ship, it's LTI, blah, 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 it costs 200 quid. In a couple of months, you might get bored. CIG comes out with a new ship. You're going to want it, okay? Now the price of that ship, now I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to use the Mercury for the first example. As you already well know, the Mercury costs 200 quid. And just to be awkward, you want to upgrade that ship to another Mercury. It costs you an extra 30 quid. Remember, it's an upgrade, okay? So, like for that, for instance, I know it's only 30 quid, but it does mount up. Okay, it does mount up. CIG has made £30. Yes, they made 200 quid on the ship, which will always be there, but they've made an extra 30 quid. And if you upgrade on top of that, upgrade on top of that, upgrade on top of that, each time they're making 30 quid. And before you've known it, you could have bought 2 ships, but at the end of the day, you haven't got that money, but you want the new ship, and this is the cheapest option for you at the end of the day. That is what I'm talking about, making contributions. Now me, on the other hand, have got loads of ships, okay, nearly about 20, 15, and they're all upgradable because I will be upgrading to the ships that I want, okay. Now if I'm upgrading all them ships, okay, and £30 a time, it's a lot of bloody money. And if you upgrade on top of that, it's a lot of bloody money. So I am making contribution, but I'm not making it in the way you can see it. I'm not making it in the way CIG has noticed it, but they are making money from me. And anybody who upgrades their ship, they're making money from. Now you've got guys who's been in the game for years, okay. They've been melting and upgrading. The principle is still the same, okay. So when people are commenting or taking a piss, okay, we are promoting Star Citizens. I'm not saying Star Citizens will go bust, because they won't. If they were going to go bust, I wouldn't put my money in there, okay. But I do want the game finished at the end of the day. So any of you guys that's got any faults and whatnot, you're wasting your time. The game is not going to go bust. And if it is going to go bust, which it's not, my ships are LTI, I will sell them. But that's not going to happen. I will have left other games to spend a full year playing this game knowing it's only a demo. The game is a demo, and I'm telling you straight, the game is fun. It is stressful, and when it's stressful, you want ships like the 600i, the Mercury, you want to fly solo, you want to put your feet up, you want to get away from it, okay? You don't want to come out of the game because you're addicted to the game. You just want to sit in the game and watch. You don't want to switch off your PC because you're going to be bored. Because all you know is Star Citizens. I see guys, oh I'm bored, I'm going to play Star Mercury. No, I'm going to play whatever, but you're going to play another game. Before you know it, there's nobody playing the game. You've not learnt nothing. If you spend more than 2-3 days, when you come back, you've got to start learning again. But the reason why you go and play, you want things handed to you on a silver platter. Play the game, enjoy the game, it's fun. The game's not coming out for 5 years. I'm an explorer. I make money in the game, okay? And I enjoy it every minute. I like cargoing and I like exploring. I don't like shoot 'em ups too much, but I do it. And there's always something for me to do in the game. I haven't really flown in Star Citizens for the last 3 days because I've been streaming. As you can see, I'm looking at a blank screen. Well, a ship full of a screen full of ships. But you're not really looking at the ships, you're listening to me gossiping. Because you've been in the game before, you've seen it all before, but at least it's what you call sitting down and having a chat, learning new things. Now, if you want to come and join us, just click on the link and we can chat. Now, there's also another problem which you guys don't seem to know. We're on Discord. Discord has got nothing to do with Star Citizens. YouTube has got nothing to do with Star Citizens. Okay? But it's a way of implementing Star Citizens and getting the word across. So if you want to come into our org and chat, it doesn't mean you have to leave your org. You can stay in your org and chat. If you want to stream with us or you want us to stream with you, we can stream with you. Okay? I had to actually leave an organization because of this, because we wasn't allowed to stream for nobody. We wasn't allowed to commentate or anything like that. And we was using an independent program like Discord and streaming. There was also another problem. They was trying to promote players to join the org. But the way they were doing it through Discord, but they was going into other establishments to apply for players. I call that poaching. Okay, it's not aware of it, but it's poaching. We had problems with that because Little Miss was a recruiter, didn't understand the rules, and she was given a job as a recruiter. She got a lot of stick, okay, and didn't understand. But because the channel was open, right, when these guys came to the channel, her job was to say, if you're not in an org, you can come join us. It got back to certain orgs, blah blah blah, that this org is poaching. She didn't understand. But when it was explained, I got what was going on. She was only following the rules of the org properly. She wasn't poaching, she just didn't understand. She was told when players come into the org, not our org because we do it totally different, you need to tag them and put them in. That was wrong. Okay, technically you spend all day making things in your house. You don't want people to come in and take stuff out. That's poaching. If you want players to come into the org, stream. That's the only advice I will give you guys. Stream. Then you will not be accused of anything. Remember, Star Citizens, Discord, Twitch, YouTube, they're independent programs. Okay? And you're advertising on the outside. That is how you apply for players. I've been doing these games for years. Okay? So I do know the rules. But when you go into a game, if you don't understand how they work, you listen to them to they turn you stupid. Okay? So that was one thing. Now, because of this, I left the org. But it wasn't just that actually, because I was actually suppressed. I didn't have the freedom of speech no more. And Little Miss had to leave because me and she is a team player. Okay? But when she was told she can't do this and can't do that, she was suppressed. She did like recruiting, but she also likes streaming. She also likes doing what she likes to do on the internet. But because of that, she couldn't do it, so she had to leave. Now, me and she's back as a team. We are having fun because we're doing what comes natural. We play, we have fun, we act stupid. We bring a sense of humour into the game. You know what I mean? But we couldn't do that in the org we was doing, so it was going a bit dry. And that was about it. And freedom of speech. But I think you guys can understand where we're coming from. Blah blah blah. Now you understand the reason why I'm not there anymore. Anyway, thanks for listening to me. I hope you find this content or this video interesting. It is free for the knowledge. I know I've not done anything in the game, but it's going to be a bit difficult me sitting down there and playing the game and talking at the same time. I'm a person, I can't multitask, and when I get excited I speak very fast, and when I speak very fast I forget what I'm supposed to say because I do everything in memory. Anyway folks, I hope you enjoyed. Please click the link. If you don't like it, it's okay, click it. If you like it, click it. And if you want to watch more videos, click the subscription. Our Discord channel is there. It doesn't mean so you have to join us, but we can sit down and chat. We have an organisation in the RSI website, but it's private. We're not enrolling anybody just yet because we are still learning the functions of how everything works. Okay? Anyway, thanks everybody, and I'm gone. Oh, by the way, before I go, these are all the ships I've got, as you can see, and they will be building up. I've got another 3 or 4 grand which I want to spend for obvious reasons, okay? Because that's just the way I am, okay? I spend my money the way I want because I'm saving money. I ain't going out. I enjoy sitting in the house playing the games, okay? But one thing CIG needs to work out, how are you going to keep that ship cool with 5 computers on there? I'm glad, okay, because I like the versatility. You've got the smuggling in there. I won't be smuggling. I'll be putting stuff in there and whatnot. There's tons of gameplays if you've got an imaginative mind. Oh, by the way, somebody asked me today about the Sabre Raven. Where can you get the Sabre Raven from? Well, that's a difficult question. You get the Sabre Raven when you buy the Octane module. I don't think the Octane module is out anymore. So anybody who's got a Sabre Raven, and also it's not giftable. I'm trying to work out how Board Gamer is made it giftable, unless he never used it in the first place. I don't know. But it's not giftable and it's not meltable. But the upsetting thing is you've only got 2 months insurance on it. Now I missed out on that because I thought you could do something with it. So obviously when the game's released in 5 years, if I don't have the proper necessities, that shit will disappear. But obviously that's going to be in about 10 years, no, 6 months, 5 years. Well, anyway, as you can see. But if you are looking for the ship for the EMP, the next best thing to use is the Hawk. I did not say the Adventure Stalker, I said the Hawk. Why? The Hawk can fit into nearly all these small ships, and I'm almost guaranteeing it will fit in the Carrack. Why? I heard somebody say that on the rebuild of the Carrack, the length is now gone to 20 meters long. The Hawk is 17. Well, did somebody say, look at the width of it, it's not going to but wait a minute. Did you know the wing has folding wings, and it can fold between half and 2/3 its size? Now if the wingspan is 23 meters long, divide that by half, you've got 11. Okay, and if it's a third, 23 meters long, you can guarantee it's going to be about 8 meters wide. Now what's the nearest thing to 8 meters wide? Well, look at the Ursa Rover, that's 8 meters wide. Okay, now if that's 8 meters wide, and that'll give you an idea on the width of that. 8 meters onto there should fit into there. Now the next question is, how many of those can you have on the Polaris? Well, no, you can get 2, and I bet you can get 3 if not 4. Now I would prefer to have the Hawk than any other ship. Why? It's quick, it's nimble, and it's swift. But the added bonus is, 1 second please, the added bonus is, as you already well know, it hasn't got missiles, but it's got EMP. It does the same job. It can zap the power generators of the other ships. Okay, the guns won't be able to do shit, but you never know, depending on what type of guns you use. Okay, but that's against small ships. But if you've got 4 ships on the Polaris with EMPs, okay, for driving in pairs and using them as a distraction, after that ship gets EMP'd a couple of times, he's going to get the hell out of there. But that's giving you different roles and how to use different ships. You could have a fleet of Noxes in there. If 100 Noxes came at you, you'd run for life, because you know at the end of the day you're going to get picked clean. But obviously up against big ships, it can't do anything. I am doing work on the hammerhead, okay, because I'm also, well, you can see I've got one there anyway. That's just giving you an idea. As you can see, I've got 2 Sabre Ravens. I actually bought them for the fleet, okay, or for the org. Anybody who's in the org can use these ships anytime they want, okay. It's not going to cost them anything. All you need is a cheap package for £20, £30 to get into the game, and these ships can cost up to £1,000, and you can fly them at your leisure and with crew. Okay, all you need to do is learn how to fly them, and then in time, as you get better, the players who come in will fly with you. Me, I don't want to be a pilot. I'm sick of sitting in the pilot seat. I'm bored sitting in the pilot seat. I want to do things. I want to walk around. I want to explore. I want to do land missions. I want to be an engineer. I want to tinker. But I can't do that as a pilot. Okay? And you'll find that there's a lot of players soon, right, that's going to start thinking the same thing. They're going to get bored being a pilot. Okay, they're going to want to do other things. So as you can see, there's jobs there for everybody. There's ranking system, but we are not military based. Okay, it's pointless because we're in a different century now. Okay, but we can do military. We do believe that players come in, we can learn together and form groups and come with ideas. But when you're in a military group, you have to be there at a certain time. You have to be doing this, you have to be doing that. It becomes stressful. And yes, I do know, because when you're doing them things, you don't want to let your friends down. And if you've got other things in, it becomes difficult. But being civilians, you have the choice, and there's always somebody there to take your place. If you watch me when I'm playing the game, I don't use the spacesuits no more. I'm always in civic clothes. Houston's coming out, alright? And that's where I'm going to be spending most of my time, learning new aspects of the game. Sorry, I was supposed to go, and I will go now when I find my way out. I don't know if anything's working because I've not been informed, so it can be a wasted video, I'm not sure. Right. Before I go, I might be able to show you something and how sleek this ship is. First thing I'll show you is how much it holds. Oh, you can't see it from there, can you? This is to give you an idea on the cargo. Nothing special. As you can see, same cargo as the constellation. So, what else does it do? Let's talk about crew members. You can't really see properly. The constellation holds 5. The Mercury holds 3. And this is something I didn't know. I never knew that. I thought it was only 2 it holds. It actually holds 4 in the Freelancer. And the cutlass holds 2. It's actually 3 it holds, actually. It's 3. I'm almost sure it holds 3. Yes, the cutlass black holds 3. It's got the pilot, it's got the engineer, and it's got the turret. The Herald holds 2. The Cyclone holds 3. The Nox holds 1. We just talked about practical to fly the ship, not extras, okay? But this one holds 3. So, I mean, the runner holds 3. So that will be pretty cheap to run, okay? We're talking about crew and data running. When you're employing people, okay, taking on crew and paying them, you have to get it right. You get it wrong, you're going to lose your player, okay? Anybody's got a cutlass black and you want to pay a crew, it's not going to be easy, okay? It's when it comes to the big ships, not even the constellation can pay properly, but you need big ships like Caterpillars, etc. that can hold decent cargo. Oh, combats can do it, yeah, we know, blah blah ships, yeah, and whatnot. But I'm not into shoot 'em up. I am into exploration. But if you look, this is something else. I probably have to go into a different program, but I don't need to. Okay, look how thin that ship is. It's wedge shape. Okay, it's not as bulky as the constellation, and it's not as bulky as the 600i. Okay, they might be the same height as the other ships, but if you look, it's streamlined. Okay, it's even more streamlined than the Herald, but the Herald is built in a different way. That's an engine on a shell, that. So as you can see, for its size, that ship will be able to move like a small ship. it's got the class of a large ship. I won't even say medium, I would say large, until somebody gives me an explanation why this ship can go through a medium. Okay, it is wider than the Constellation, okay, by 10 meters. Okay, that can go through large, that can go through medium, that can go through medium, that can go through medium, that can go through small, but that is wider than that. Okay, so I don't know how you're going to get a milk bottle top into a small square box. It's not going to work. Basically, as you can see, if this is a large, if the Constellation is a large, is it going to fly into the wormhole long ways? I mean, from here to here going sideways? No, it's not. It's going to fly straight. Okay? And this is where I'm coming from with this ship. As you can see, the diameter, the length, and the width is almost the same. It's a miscalculation. I get it, I understand. But it's illogical because everybody's saying it's medium because it's in the same size of all these ships. Okay? Now to make that into a medium, that's going to have to come down. Okay? That's going to have to come down. So they say the Freelancer can go through a small jump point. Okay? But in the stats, it said it's medium. So it goes through medium jump points, but they say that goes through small. That is a large. What jump point will that be able to go through? Because whatever that can go through might fit that, but won't fit them. Because they say that is the largest ship that can go through a small jump point. That ain't going to go through it. Okay? And that's not a small ship. That is a medium ship. Okay? That is a large ship. So where does this fit? For this to go through a medium, they're going to have to change the size of the ship, and then everything's back in form. Because I don't really see the Caterpillar as a large ship compared to the ships that I've got. Give you an idea. Those are all small ships. These are big ships. These are medium ships. But no, I know it's the large, but I think you can see where I'm coming from, apart from the Polaris. So just using that as an example, as you can see where I'm coming from. Now the Caterpillar is also questionable, because if you put the Caterpillar width on these, obviously, as you can see, there's also a question mark with the Caterpillar because it's not as wide. Okay, that is wide. So and that is actually wider. I think they said that's a large, didn't they? I think they said the hammerhead is a large. And that's a large. And that's twice the width. I think they need to go over the Constellation size again. I think it's an odd size. We do know what's caused the confusion. They are doing reworks on all these ships and they are making them bigger. But in the stats pages, it's not changed. And everybody looks at the stats pages, okay? CIG knows this, but they're not upgrading the stat pages. They're only upgrading the oh my god, what's that thing called again? You know, the roadmap. And I think they should actually stay focused on the stat, because everybody looks on that, okay? Or they're going to jump points. Some of these stats are 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, okay? Nobody has a clue. And when they buy the ships and it comes out with something else, they're disappointed because it's not what they expected, and they can't ask for the money back because it's over 31 days. Discrepancies. You know what I mean? You should actually do something with the roadmap. If it's little changes every couple of weeks, it's better than nothing, because everybody looks at the ship upgrades or the ship comparison page or whatnot. This at the moment is the most accurate we can get to ship component sizes and ship comparison, because the Star Citizen's not doing it and it's their stuff. But outside independent people are, but they can't get the information because CIG won't release it until the release date. That's unfair because we pay for these ships. You want us to use these ships, you want us to advertise these ships. We know the ships don't work, we know this, and it's upsetting. But one thing I'm going to say on CIG's behalf, when I first started, right, my first ship was the Aquila. It wasn't flyable and I couldn't fly it. They gave me a loaner ship that was the Andromeda. I spent hours and hours and hours and hours walking around that ship in the hangar deck, thinking, can it be this? Thinking, can it be that? Whatnot. They stopped it. I was upset, but I thought about it in a different way, okay? Because I bought, like for instance, you got the Polaris, you got the Pioneer, you got these ships. I haven't got a clue what them ships look like, and I never will, okay? But what I'm trying to say is, I know they ain't got the hangar bays big enough, but what I'm trying to say is, at least it gave us a imaginative mind or a imaginative idea, okay? But the policy's changed now, so I'm going to give you a different idea how to look at this. These ships that are coming out, i.e., we'll use the 600i, the buggiest ship out there, my favourite ship, okay? Now, what they've done, they released that ship within 6 months from building that ship. The ship is buggy, but because we can actually play in the PU, we've got an idea what the ship looks like. It's annoying and it's upsetting, but when we're testing these ships in the PU, it's giving CIG a feedback what needs to be done and extra ideas, okay? So yes, I agree with them putting these ships in the PU so we can use them, but you guys need to understand we're all testers. This game is a demo, okay? We can't have these ships locked up in the hangar bay because nobody knows what's going on or how to fix it. They have to put the ships in the game. The carrot can go in the game. They can't tell me it can't go in the game. The merchantman can go in the game, even if it's just the cockpit that's working. The Pioneer can go in the game. The Polaris can go in the game, even if it's just the cockpit that's working. We know they're going to get a headache, but how are they going to be able to advance a bit quicker when they've got it locked up under the bonnet? They've charged us for it, okay? And we want to see it. Did somebody say, oh, it's only to pay the wages so CIG can develop the game? Yeah, we get it, but who's going to spend £3,000 and never see the ship? Who's going to spend £500 and never see the ship? What I'm trying to say is the game won't be out for another 5 years. We don't know when these ships are coming out. I actually bought the carrot believing it was coming out this year. That was at Christmas. I wouldn't have bought it, okay? And then to be told it's coming out next year, I'm now looking in the map. There's nothing there. And there's a lot of these ships. The last ship I've got coming out now is the Hammerhead, okay? These ships are not even on roster. They're not even on roster, or we're getting excuses. Oh, this thing's not developed for it. Well, you've got the ship, you've got the skin, it can hold a pilot seat. Stick it out there. Take the grief, okay? Because we get grief. I'll tell you right now, I am now on stream and somebody's going to give me some criticism. The mic's not working, you don't know what you're talking about, or whatever. But at the end of the day, I got my point across, and the information I have given is useful to somebody out there, okay? Get the ships out, let us use the ships. We know. Did someone say they've not got the hangar bay? You got the oh God, what's that ship called? Not the merchantman. Oh my word. That big, you got the reclaimer out, didn't you? It couldn't fit in the hangar bay. It was as glitchy as nobody's business. But you got it out. Or you're trying to tell us the Polaris, has it even got a skin? How long's it been out? The Pioneer hasn't got a skin. The merchantman has been out longer than that. And the carrot's been out longer. It must have a skin. Put it out there. Let us test it. Yes, we're going to give you a headache, but at least you know what you're up against when you're releasing the game. You know what you're up against when you're releasing the ships. Let us help you to help ourselves. You're charging us, but you're giving us excuses at the end of the day. It's not ready, it's not this, blah, blah, blah. Let them out, let the players see it at the end of the day. If you remember when 600 Kaya came out, the skies was littered. It's not out now because it can't be played, but you've got the info at the end of the day, you've got the feedback, and you still will get more. Let us have the ships out there, okay? You guys are geniuses, okay? You are geniuses. And you learn from your mistakes, but you can't learn when you've got them hidden up and say, oh, it's a surprise, wait till ship shape, this and da. We're paying for this, and we're entitled to give feedback and advice. As you say, guys, we give you guys the input and you try to work on it, okay? That's not criticizing, that's trying to give advice. Anyway, like I said, you guys, going now. And bye and have a nice day.